Oh, all right, we're back. Another episode of the Overtime
Well, you might want to do another
podcast.
take.
Why?
You had pure distaste and anger on your face when you started that. You're like, oh, fuck that. All right, hear me.
No,
And you look and I was like, ooh,
I'm going with that one take here.
they call me the one take champ.
The one take
So
champ. Yeah.
it's like one exactly.
So wait, are we starting over?
No,
No, we're just going. We're just going.
we'll just keep it.
Perfect.
This is overtime, baby.
Overtime. Yeah, fucking. We end up talking about. Every time
That
we've talked
really
about
is.
one of these movies, we always go into something else, and then we discuss like the timeline again and stuff. So, anyway, but yeah, we're back. Another overtime episode.
I'm
Back
gonna,
in.
well,
Okay.
I was gonna say I'll wait for y'all to judge it before I make a statement.
Okay.
But
Back in the Puppet Master franchise with Puppet Master 3, The Revenge of Tulon, 1991. Which is, I think when we discussed it, it was the first. It was the one you're supposed to watch first, like chronologically. But
big word.
that was a big word. Yeah, I've been working on my off
I
time.
believe it's pronounced poupate master. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Let me
But
look
anyway,
into
Sounds right.
yeah.
I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 10. I think that's what I'm gonna go with there.
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10, bro.
Ooh,
I really
5.
liked it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give this movie a 6 out of 10.
Oh shit.
Word.
But there's an asterisk on that.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but you know,
Well, this is the point where I would say, hey, spoiler warning, go watch the movie. But it's fucking Puppet Master 3. So I don't know if anyone's rushing out to watch it, but
it's still a spoiler warning. They might go watch it because it's all
yeah.
whatever.
But yeah, we'll get into it. But
All right.
Puppet Master 3.
I'm gonna preference this with saying I think this will be the last Puppet Master movie we watch.
It might,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, it might be.
Only reason I gave it a 6 is because out of the three, this one was by far the best one.
Yeah.
Right? I was gonna say the same shit.
Like those other ones don't even hold up. Like this one, it started off strong. You knew what the plot was. You know, everything progressed. Kind of
Yeah.
crazily fast. Like the end of the movie
Yeah.
came up on you, and I was like, "What?" I remember looking, and they were just now fighting the main bad guy, and there was like, "There's 3 minutes left of this movie." I
Yeah.
was like, "What? There's no way to do anything."
Yeah.
So
Um,
Yep.
the weird thing is, so I gave it a 4, but the weird thing is I kind of agree with you that it was the better of the trilogy. But the only reason I gave it a
Right.
4 is even though I think, like, acting wise and story wise and everything, it was a better movie, it seemed like the least memorable of the three for me. Like,
because it was
compared,
actually good.
that's the thing, is like, yeah, like, it was a better movie, but in turn it lost like some of the memorable things I remember from the other ones of just how bad and how cheesy the animations look or whatever it was. Fucking Pinhead
Mhm.
swinging on the chandelier and drop kicking a dude and shit.
Um,
So yeah, so
I'm so glad
that's
you
why.
said that.
Okay.
There's a point, you know, when he opens the door and all the puppets are dropping in the window.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a point where Pinhead does it, and you could tell it's like they have a little person play Pinhead,
Yeah.
and you could tell it's her head with the sweater over it and her hands standing straight up.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh,"
Yeah.
but I think Toulon, the guy who plays Toulon in this, killed it,
Yeah.
and that's
Mhm.
why the movie was so much better. Like,
It was just like it was like, better done than the first two.
Mhm.
Like just everything about it.
so
Yeah.
keep in mind the original trilogy. The way they tell you to watch it chronologically is to start with this one.
Mhm.
Now, if we started with this movie and watched the other two, there's no way. I would have just raged.
Yeah.
Like, because think about it. Like, one was bad,
Uh-huh.
two was almost as bad, and 3 was okay, right? 3 I'd watch at 4 a.m. on the USA Network, if that's even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But like, if you swapped them and we started with this, oh.
Yeah.
So in the very first one, the guy who kills himself so the Nazis don't get his whatever.
Uh-huh. I
That's
think it
Toulon,
is.
right?
I think that's Toulon, yeah.
But that kid is obviously going to take over for him, right? Peter.
You would think, yeah.
So
Not sure.
I kept being like, "What's going on? What's happening with this?"
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Toulon kills himself in the first one and then becomes the batshit crazy villain in the second one.
and then he goes to Mordor.
Yeah. I couldn't remember, but so his wife, gets fucking shot and killed by these Nazis in this movie. Is the name that he says for the wife, is that the wife that he wants to bring back to life in 2?
I thought it was Lydia. I don't remember what the name in this one was.
I don't either. But I remember watching
I
it and
just
being like,
watched
I
it,
thought
bro.
it was a different woman he was trying to bring back. And like they sort of alluded. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say they sort of alluded that she got killed when the scene with the dude with the eyes and set everything on fire. But now I was like, you saw her in the next scene where she was
Yeah.
like, think of the children. Which then there's a part
Yeah.
in this movie where they have a random flashback to that.
To that, yeah, and I'm
Where
like, why?
it shows like the fucking genie puppet and shit. And I was like, what does this mean?
It
That
shows
main
us-
fucking guy, like,
Uh-huh.
you know that guy who shot the wife?
Yeah.
Was he wearing like a ton of makeup?
yeah,
or was
the
he
whole
just-
movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
I was like, why does his face look so strange?
He must be like Rutger Hauer's Downsy brother or whatever. I don't know if I can say that, but he was like the B-list version of Rutger Hauer, and like it was just so bad. There was a scene where him and the dad were fighting with a gun, and he was like, "Run, Peter!" And he's
Yeah.
like, "Ah!" And he just shoots
They-
him.
Guns the dad down like in the
Yeah.
stomach.
Yeah.
And if
But-
you, for some reason, ever watch this movie again, notice that no one aims their gun.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone shoots from the hip. Even the guys with the rifles
Yeah.
are like shooting from the hip, and I'm like,
There's
why?
a part, I think it's that main fucking evil Nazi dude, where he gets like pissed off and he starts shooting bottles on the wall, and he's like, and like at his chest shooting them, but he's hitting every one. And I'm like, goddamn.
Dude, when the lady spits on him and he kills the dude's wife, he takes the gun, holds it like above his head, downward angle, straight Compton style, and
Yeah.
busts a cap at her. And I was like, what is this? Who shoots a gun like that?
Yeah.
So,
That scene after was crazy when those fucking puppets killed that fucking driver.
That was wild.
And
yeah, I was digging it.
yeah, that was
Fucking
sick. Like,
Tunneler drills
even-
through his stomach.
yeah, even for fucking 91, I was like, damn, this is a cool ass scene.
Yeah. I did
And like,
notice.
what did he?
Go ahead.
Sorry, what did he? What was the puppet doing to the fucking guy in the back? I was like, what is he doing to him? Was he choking him?
Yeah, he was choking him out, and then he ended
Yeah.
up breaking his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So many tits in this movie.
There's a lot of tits.
It was like I was like watching it, and I got uncomfortable. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, they upped the tip factor.
Like there was a sex scene, all kinds of stuff, and I was like, "What is going on?" I was like looking around. I
Yeah.
was like, "Am I old enough to watch this?"
There was that first one where like the guy made a call to that guy in like a bathhouse,
Yeah.
and like there was just all these girls around him, bro.
Yeah. There was just like
It looked
4
like you-
naked chicks, but yet he, as an actor, was like, I can't be forced to be naked. So he had like swim trunks
Yeah.
on.
Or like it looked like a diaper or
It's
something.
something, yeah.
Like a loincloth or whatever. But
Yeah.
Exactly.
But. And then that dude, isn't that the same dude who has the sex scene later on with the girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that crazy shot when he's having sex with that chick, where 6-shooters climbing up the side of the wall, and
Like a
it's like
spider.
down, yeah. And you see like the soldiers walking underneath them and shit, and I was like, oh shit.
It's like as sorry, what?
no, I was just gonna segue into talking about six gun, but
Yeah.
you can go ahead.
I was gonna say that fucking part where he was climbing up the wall, like, was like cheesy, like that part where the strong man threw the brick. They moved like the same, like it
Yeah.
was the same kind of shot. Like
Yeah.
I like how
stop
he
motion.
grunted. Yeah, huh. and he throws the brick.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "Dirt!" And he gets his beans back. So good.
Yeah.
So I got a theory.
Okay.
I don't think Six Strings can stand up. I think the way they made the puppet, he was too top heavy. Because even when he walks, they wouldn't show him walking. They just showed his feet. And
Um,
like the puppet guy didn't like he walked all the way up to the wall, put him out of
Yeah.
his jacket against the wall, and he was like, ha, ha, ha. And the next thing you know, he's climbing.
So the behind the scenes I watched on Six Shooter,
Mhm.
there's three different puppets. There was one where it was the stop motion shit, which that's the one that's climbing the wall and stuff. And
Mhm.
then there was another one that they used for like just the shots of all the puppets like moving around, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was just a regular string fucking puppet or some shit. But then the craziest one is they had a wire puppet, which it was three puppeteers that had these fucking machines in front of them where it was like joysticks, and like it was three puppeteers. They they both controlled or they all controlled two arms, and so that's how they would move it, and everything they would do would
Mm.
control how he would look. And like if he would do that, like the guy would have to do this on the fucking thing and shit. And it was crazy looking at how they moved him around. But it definitely looked like he was like super propped up in those scenes where they were
Yeah.
moving him around.
Six Shooter looked huge too, like
He looked
compared to
giant.
the other puppets.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, are all the puppets this big? And I didn't realize it.
They like I swear they switch sizes. Like sometimes they look tiny and then you'll see a guy pick them up and they're like giant. And I'm like, "Holy shit." Like
Yeah.
yeah.
This is a good movie because they introduced Six Shooter,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see the creation of Blade,
And you see the
Yeah.
creation of Leech Woman.
Bleach Woman,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird because okay, guys, his wife dies, so he puts his wife into a doll and it ends
Yeah,
up
he
being
does.
Leech Woman. Now, every time they show Leech Woman on screen, she's moaning and making like hooker noises.
Mm-hmm.
So why did he make his own wife a prostitute?
I don't know. There's
Like,
that
yeah,
there's that one scene too where Tulon's all sad and Leech Woman like comes over and puts a hand on his shoulder. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
It's like, did Toulon, he shoved a giant leech into the doll's mouth when he was making it? Is that what that long fucking thing was?
yeah.
When-
At the
Yeah.
afterwards, yeah. Well, the thing is, she
Like-
was beautiful, and then he turned it into a puppet, and then she lost her soul or whatever.
Something, yeah.
I say beautiful.
Yeah.
It wasn't like beautiful. It was normal looking doll. And
I
then
thought-
it like turned.
I thought
into
at first it was like his daughter or something. Like he was an older man, and like she didn't look. She looked young. And I was like, oh, this is his kid. And then he was like, I can't live without you. And I was
That's
like,
how
oh.
Toulon was rolling, G.
Yeah, he
I
just
think
was
Bill
pulling
kind
him.
of was right because he was like 60, and that girl was all 28.
Yeah.
So
This
but,
was and like behind the scenes, I can't even tell you how old they really, because this was the least they got into like the crew. It was just all about how the puppets move and shit.
like I said, it was a good movie, but like I don't see them ever getting better. So that's why I'm like, we just need to call it here, be done
Yeah,
with
that
it.
sounds good. This one was cool.
Maybe
and it,
go
like-
to the other blood puppets after this or something.
Oh,
Dolls.
Blood Dolls.
Blood
Yeah.
dolls, yeah. We'll
But-
see.
Yeah, that one's cool.
The crazy thing is then I was watching some other shit. Apparently, the fucking Charles Band dude made a movie called just Dolls before he ever made Puppet Master. They just look the exact same. And I was like, this dude just made the same movie with two different names. Like, yeah, man. People listening, they're Charles Band fan. They're like, how dare you? It's two different fucking movies.
I think I've seen the cover of that movie, Dolls. It's like a
Yeah.
little girl doll on the front. But
Think
I don't
so.
think I've never watched it.
I like to think Charles Band listens and he's like, he's right. He right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might be dead.
I always assumed, by the way, that Charles Band was like an older dude or something. But like he's young dude, like got long fucking black hair and shit. He introduces all the behind the scenes for these movies.
Oh, so he might still be alive.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
W-
Unless like
Well,
something
those
tragic.
DVD extras are 30 years old right now, right?
Yeah. If it yeah.
He doesn't have long hair anymore.
Oh no. Still
He's making
kicking.
comic books and stuff. I don't know. Like he has his own website that tells you nothing about him.
Ah, well. I'm
He was
sure.
born
He
in
might be like
1951.
shit. So he's like
61.
70.
Yeah, so at that
51.
time he was like 40. Yeah. But you guys remember one of my favorite parts of this movie was the very beginning of it, where fucking the Nazi dude like walks in and the doctor has that Nazi dude on the fucking table and operating on him, and he's like he won't make it through the night, and the guy's like how do you know? And then the dude's like and then dies. And I was like oh,
Oh, yeah.
shit.
It won't last 5 minutes.
How do you know?
Yeah,
Dude, I
just-
kept laughing anytime that old guy was on screen because he plays a character in Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I always just thought of that character. He like plays this boss that Elaine works for a whole season. But
The weird
I know
thing,
no one else knew that.
no, the weird thing
This-
about that Nazi dude dying too is then right after that he hops up and he's a fucking zombie, and I was like, what the fuck? And then like they never, like they don't explain how that happened. Later you see them like trying to experiment to reanimate him, but that was way before any of that. So I was like, how did this dude jump up as a zombie a minute ago?
But like, yo, when you guys saw that there was a reward, didn't you know that fucking that kid's dad was gonna turn him in? I fucking knew that
100%.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like just waiting for it. And then I fucking saw him like sitting in the office with the paper in his hand.
Yeah. They have
Have-
like they gave you the how Leech Woman and shit was created and all that, and they tell you like fucking Pinhead was like delivering food to Nazi camp or concentration camps and shit like that or whatever. Do they does he ever mention who they put into Blade, or did I miss that?
I think it's the
I thought it was the
doctor.
doctor, yeah, but they never acknowledge it, and I was like, oh.
Is Pinhead the strong man or the drillhead guy?
Pinhead is the strong man. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I've been calling him strong man.
Yeah. Well, same thing with
What is-
Drillhead. Like we call him Drillhead, but his name's Tunneler.
Yeah.
Tunneler. Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know that until now.
Yeah. I remember there was something where I think it was Jester, and but there's that scene where he's like feeding him, and he's like, "How come you're always the first in line for food or whatever?" And then later, I think you find out he's in a concentration camp, and people talk about he's first in line for food because he was starved to death in the concentration camp. And I was like, "Oh shit, this is too deep
Yeah.
for me."
It showed the puppets having like emotion,
Yeah.
which was cool. Like they got sad like 2 different times. You could see.
Yeah. Which then still doesn't make sense to me if this dude's so anti-Nazi and like he's fighting the Nazis and he's taking all his friends who were helping Jewish people and all that shit. Why then in turn in the third one or the second one, I get that he turns evil, but he makes fucking Torch or whatever with the Iron Cross and shit on him and stuff and like super Nazi looking. And I was like, what made you create this puppet later on down the line?
Did Torch wasn't he didn't pop up in this one, did he?
No,
No.
this is way before Torch ever comes along.
So with Torch, have we seen all the puppets, or is there more?
Tyler gave us the list of them a while ago.
There's
And there's,
two
like,
more.
Oh, there's 2 more? Okay.
So the little goblin guy you see in the flashback, that's
Uh-huh.
one. And then there's another one called Mephisto. And then there's a third one who I think looks like Blade, but he's red.
Oh,
And
shit.
he like changes everything. So
Yeah. Well, I wonder too, because this is a prequel. I wonder what happens to 6-shooter. Like, do they just, like, does he pop up in the 4th one?
yeah.
But they're just like, oh yeah, he's around still. The 4th one might be a prequel too, Because I think when we looked it up, 1 and 2 were like in the middle of the list. A lot of movies came before it. So. But shit.
The cover of Doll's Bags has a picture of like a regular girl's doll, and like half her face is normal, and the other half looks like a skull. You 100% have seen it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we have to mention Six Shooter's little
yeah,
every time he does anything, it's good. Yeah. He gets his fucking arm shot off at one point. Becomes 5 shooter.
good.
It was crazy. There was a lot of like shootouts where people didn't get blood splatters, I noticed.
Yeah.
Where they would just fall over. But then they made sure that Nazi dude, when Six Shooter was shooting him, he was getting the fucking bullet holes and shit. And I like
That was cool as fuck.
that was cool. Watching the behind the scenes, the way they describe it, they're like, now we go to when whatever that Nazi dude's name, he meets his nemesis, Six Shooter, and I was like, are they really nemesis? Like I don't think they've interacted but once in this movie, and the one time they interacted was when he killed him. So like, yeah, but thought it was funny.
Well, all right, guys, we're gonna end it there.
What? Goddamn.
Well, no, we went over everything.
I don't think so. I got notes.
Oh,
Fucking going back. Fucking Bags was like, they get sad and shit at some point or whatever. There's a
well,
shot.
my wife died. You know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a shot
Yeah.
of Six Shooter where they try to make him look sad, but he's got this fucking like smile the whole time. So he just sort of like tilts his head down, but he's still got this giant smile. And I was like, you can't make that guy look sad.
He like leans his head down, but like shakes his head. He
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
but why did they get sad that second scene? I remember the wife dying. I was trying to remember that second part.
I don't know, maybe Toulon was sad, so they were just they also got sad.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just remember them being sad, and that was it. Like for the wife being died. Maybe when they burned down his place.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, they did burn his fucking house down.
Was that his house or like where he was doing the shows? Cause didn't he go back to like his house or whatever to get the puppets later, or that he sent the
I don't
kid
know.
there?
He like
He
started
fell
hanging out in a
asleep.
church at some point.
When he fell asleep and he had the dream, he was like, "We've returned home."
Yeah.
So
I like the when Pinhead bricked that dude in the head and he's laying there, and then Leech Woman is like fucking dive
The
bombing
chandelier,
leeches on
yeah.
him, and he's going ah.
yeah. Well, Tyler
rope.
took out his ankle too.
Yeah, he was drilling out his ankle.
Those
yeah.
are two different guys. The guy who got knocked out was just done.
Oh,
And then
this
Tunneler took out the dude's ankle. So he
okay.
was laying there, and yeah.
Yeah. But,
Side note:
uh-huh.
if you're under the age of 18, don't listen to this.
Okay.
Full Moon is just a straight up porn making company now.
Oh shit. That's
Like
crazy.
100% 80s, 90s, late Cinemax movie making company.
Yeah.
And if you ever have a question for them, they have their phone number right here on the website, and it
Oh,
goes straight
shit.
to the presidents of Full Moon.
Oh.
So
Well, their whole thing watching it is they have fans. They're like, send us your movie ideas and we'll turn them into movies. So I guess they're still trying to keep that alive just now with pornos or some shit.
You should send him that script, G.
Oh, the Texas Chainsaw script, yeah.
Oh, now everyone's gonna do it. Fuck.
Oh shit. I'll cut this.
I was gonna
script's
say
going straight to fucking Peter Jackson's desk.
Oh yeah.
straight to PD Jack.
Yeah.
But like these movies, because I'm on their site looking because I was trying to find if you could buy the dolls or whatever.
Uh-huh.
and it just looks like I don't even know how you would describe it.
Yeah.
Like the worst strip club that just happens to be next to a trailer park that you'd
Yeah.
ever see. So
Yeah, these movies, I wonder if they're too obscure for like those pop figures to ever make fucking pops of the dolls
I think
or the puppets
Blade,
or whatever.
maybe.
Blade,
Like,
maybe, yeah, maybe Pinhead.
well, they only have one toy apparently from this, and
Yeah,
it was the only toy or statue they have is Blade,
yeah. Which
which is weird
I think at
because
some point they really put all their eggs in one basket on him. Like they give him his own solo movie at one point. So,
they have a Blade and a Torch head action figure.
oh shit. But does Torchhead shoot out fire?
No, I don't think so.
Shit.
That'd be cool if he had like just like a lighter style flame that came
Yeah,
out.
that'd be cool. All right, we gotta talk about the fucking. Listen, the death of the main villain in this movie started off really cool, but then ended up being really lame. When they fucking hook him in like his leg and his ankles and all that shit, and then they
Oh,
string him up, and I'm like, oh shit, he's a fucking puppet now.
Yep.
But then he like just goes back to just being hanging there, and then they like light him on fire, and there's this blade, and he's like, ah. And then it cuts, and then cuts back, and he's just like laying on it, and they just have it like sticking up through his back.
Shit.
And I was like,
I
all
couldn't-
right,
I didn't see it sticking up on him. I just
yeah. It looks like back in the day when you would stick the sword through your fucking through like your arm and just have it sticking out the other side.
yeah.
Alright, I'm back. I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck happened. Peace.
Oh, I sneezed. But yeah, I thought that death, that shot, don't get me wrong, is super cool of him as the fucking marionette puppet strung up. But then I wish they would have done, like, something else to finish him off.
Yeah,
then
when they
there's
were
just-
pulling him up,
Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker's a puppet.
Yeah.
Why?
Motherfucker. Yeah. And then there's, like, an awkward 20 seconds where he's just, like, sitting there, like, as the rope's burning, just waiting for it to fall. And the guy's like, no, no. But,
Yeah, for real. I thought he was gonna land on it like split, like right up the fucking ass.
yeah,
But like
something.
he like fell on his stomach on it or some
That
shit.
I had that thought. I was like, "Oh shit, he's gonna like credit card it," but it was like just the stomach.
Yeah, it was weird how he fell.
Yeah,
Well, later on, the guy's like, some even lost their heads. I was like, no one got decapitated in this movie, right? Like,
yeah.
I was like, I don't know why he's saying that, but okay, you know.
I saw this by the way. Fucking 6-shooter with his laughing and shit. The laughter of 6-shooter was supplied by Albert Band, father of producer slash Full Moon CEO Charles Band. Albert had escaped France during the Nazi regime, which means every time the viewer hears 6-shooter laughing after he had gunned down a Nazi, that is the actual voice of a man who had really escaped from them. There you go. Shout out to Albert Band.
You know, I never realized how like Nazi themed these movies were
Mm,
until this one.
yeah.
But like shit, these puppies, the puppies, the puppets, like you know,
It's
they're
a whole
from
other
there.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
like,
mean, I
like
think
it
it
was.
was German, right? But like, yeah, like the Nazi thing was going
Yeah.
on.
Well, later on, like when we looked at it, then it was like the Last Reich and the fucking Iron Cross or some shit later on down the line. We were like, oh shit. but yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot of Nazi undertone in this series.
Mm.
I don't even know if you can call it undertone.
But
It was
Right?
in the face,
I-
yeah.
but I'd never noticed that like as a kid watching these movies, like on the Sci-Fi Channel.
yeah, we
Yeah.
probably just didn't realize it, right? Like we didn't know about it.
Uh-huh.
So
This movie had a budget of $800,000, by the way. Figured I'd throw that in there.
how much did it make?
Damn.
It didn't even give me a box office. I think this.
Oh,
Oh,
straight
wow.
to DVD. So
Yeah.
it didn't matter.
Which I'm surprised. Like, I thought Full Moon was just all straight to DVD, but I guess those other two got theatrical releases. So, um,
Yeah, I, I'm sure this one went to theater.
No,
I don't think so. I don't know.
It didn't. The first like five.
I think the first one maybe, but after that,
The first two I remember had box offices, but this one, I don't think so.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think people were done with their shit by now.
Done with this puppet smut.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't gotten to maybe there is one later on down the line. But as much as they love to throw in nudity, I'm surprised there hasn't been a puppet who like has puppet titties.
well, I remember that South Park one. They were like, "It's the first time you see a nude puppet or
Yeah.
whatever." So I don't think they do it, but
Which they say that, but did that movie come out before fucking Bride of Chucky or whatever? When she like shows her tits to the Chuck so he can jerk off? Or no, they straight up fuck. They're like silhouetted in the window.
Oh yeah, on Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some disturbing shit.
It was weird.
Thomas has a look of shame on his face. I don't want to know what he did to this. Anyways, next
Listen, I
next
went through a
factoid, please.
phase. Next factoid, that was it. I only had 2 facts for this movie. There wasn't anything else I thought was very interesting. Not even behind the scenes. Like I wrote down in my notes at the bottom, I'm like behind the scenes, and then nothing was interesting, so I didn't even write anything down. But
Yeah, it was an easier watch though than the first two.
yeah, like I said, it was way better done than the other two. But
I did catch a mistake though.
okay, hit me with it.
So the very beginning, the Nazi guy comes or whatever to see him, right?
Uh-huh.
And it shows Pinhead like looking, not Pinhead, Tumbler,
Yeah.
like looking at him. And in the very next scene, it shows Toulon like talking to the guy, and up in the corner, it has Jester and Tunneler already put away in the box,
Oh shit.
like setting up thing. And I was like, ooh.
God damn.
I was like, are you telling me that these movies about live living puppets is
Yeah.
it factual? I was like, good day, sir.
That dude,
Good day. And I like turned it off.
for being like the greatest puppet master of all time, that puppet show was pretty shit. Like all it was like 2 lines of dialogue, and then it was just a minute of 6-shooters shooting Hitler, and then like the curtains. And I was like, what? That was it?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to put some spec on Toulon's name.
Okay.
How would you, in real life, like grab any one of your toys, what
Uh-huh.
you call collectibles,
Yeah.
and make them move 6 of their arms
Yeah.
independently, grab something, and then shoot someone with them?
Yeah. Well, listen, he
Like,
didn't
they didn't
do
even
it.
have TV back then. So that had to be mind-blowing shit, right?
Yeah.
They were like, we didn't die of plague. Holy fuck, that guy's shooting. Like, this motherfucker fly. Like, it's the same thing.
I like the Nazi dude where he's like, oh, the Fuhrer. He's like so disrespected that they would shoot Hitler.
Well, back in the day, like, if you said anything even somewhat remotely, like, you couldn't
Yeah.
criticize, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, think about the day, like, whatever your political leanings are. If you were to talk about the President of the United States of America, like, we're like, haha, got him. You know, but back then, it was like,
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah.
Your whole family's going to the gulag or whatever.
The gulag. But anyway, but now I think that's about it. I think I'm out out of shit.
I'm just saying, I don't know why he made Blade to look like that guy that killed his wife. Why would you want to be reminded of that? Right? Like,
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird.
it's got to be mad, right?
No, it's a little bleak.
Could-
They haven't. What is
That's the doctor from the show being
Oh
anyone.
shit!
Yeah, that's a clip from Seinfeld.
Oh god.
Coincidentally, you know,
Oh no.
looking like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember too. There was a part where when they kill that one Nazi dude, when he like turns around and Jester's sitting on his car. Um, so his reaction, he's like, and then it just cuts to black. I was like, oh shit. Which, what does he call Jester? I swear to God, the first time I listened to it, it sounded like he goes, "Ah, beautiful clown baby." I was like, what? And then when I played it back, I don't think that's what he says, but God help me, I could not figure out what he actually said there. But I like to believe he said beautiful clown baby. So I'll play it here. Maybe someone knows what the fuck he says.
So glaubwürdig nicht.
But but anyway, anything else you guys can remember from this movie you want to talk about as we wrap up this movie and perhaps the series? Because I don't know if we'll jump back into another one.
I'm not sure about the ending because they escaped to Berlin,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool and all.
Yeah.
But that guy just takes him on like he's his son, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of weird. Okay, they don't have anybody else, so it makes sense.
Uh huh.
Mhm.
But the main confusing part of this movie for me is they're like, oh, he's a world-renowned scientist and chemist.
Yeah.
And I was like, no one knows his name's Toulon, and this guy's like, genius level.
Yeah. Like that doctor the whole time. He's like, this man, we have to know his genius.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know, it's just, and he was like, what's in the secret syrup? And he was like, it's just stuff. Like, he was like, it's in every book known to man.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like, it was just, like I said, if you really look at it, like, the story didn't really make sense. Like, they could have left that doctor guy out completely.
It was, yeah, he started off like, when he went there and he was like, no, I just want to talk to you or whatever. I thought he was playing them, like he was gonna fucking pull out some crazy shit. But it turned out he was just like on his side all of a sudden. I was like, oh, alright.
I think they try to make it be like he's about the science and not like,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. But like he would tattletale to the big Nazi every time he didn't get
Yeah,
his way.
right? If he got the science, he would just be like, listen, every Nazi that's killed from now on, we can bring him back. Never
He
ending.
said it even. He was like, when we rebuild this world.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, maybe it's a good thing you died after all.
But like I said, it wasn't a bad movie, but it was hard to watch. Like it was the best one of the three, and I
Yeah.
watched
Mhm.
it like 2 hours ago, real late. And I was like, just keep going, guys. Like just move it along.
Yeah.
So,
But
it is enjoyable. Like I said, even though I just said it was hard to watch, but I think if you watch that one by itself and you ended it there, you would be fine, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, right. Like you don't even need to watch any other puppet movie, right?
just that one. That's the
It
one.
just you're like maybe dude got away.
Yeah.
Maybe they caught him later.
Well, it's like that's the hard part because the reason these movies get better is technology, right? Like CGI, better puppets, whatever. So if they would have just kept going forward, these movies would have gotten better. But what they did is they went like retro with it, or beginning story or whatever.
They even have a movie called Retro Puppet Master.
Well, so like what you're sitting through is films that take place during the future that look 100 times worse than apparently the film that's taking place 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. So I mean, it's not the first prequel ever, like that's a thing, but
Yeah.
it's just bad. So, like planning, not movie wise. But yeah, I don't think what do we have on deck for the future of Overtime?
I don't know. I don't know how we want to do it. I've been trying to figure out how we're gonna tackle series and shit in this fucking
Yeah.
podcast.
Like Friday 13th and stuff.
Yeah, because eventually we'll have to jump into it, and I don't know how to do it. I think what my plan was is I was like each week we would dedicate a time where we'd be like, all right, we're not doing our picks weekly. We'll just be like, listen, this week, fucking watch these two, like Friday 1 and Friday 2, and then that Sunday we'll record like 1 and then 2. So that way we can go through it faster because we'll do 2 a week, but it'll be individual episodes, and I'll just put them out 2 a week and shit.
The person I was talking to actually suggested something, and
Oh, yeah?
I thought it was a good suggestion, but it's up to you,
But-
you know.
Yeah.
But they said start a series on Stephen King that we should pick
Yeah.
Stephen King flicks and go. I mean, we were talking about Pet Sematary, but and how the new one sucked.
It was bad.
Well, not sucked, but yeah, you know what I mean. But like,
Trailer gave away everything too.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean, if you picked Creep Show, Bags picked Christine, I
yeah,
pick, you know, whatever, Shawshank Redemption.
yeah. So for the time being, that was me specifically talking about like how we would do series or whatever. For overtime, I kind of would like that where we're just doing one-offs where we just pick these.
But
Where
then at
it's
the same
not-
time,
Yeah.
do you think it'd be best to do like a whole series, right? Like we could do one based on, you know, the first 2 Freddy's, the second 2 you know,
Uh-huh.
1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. I think Freddy only has 6 unless you count, you know, New Nightmare or whatever. But
Gots to.
I don't know. If anyone watching this has an opinion, just throw it in chat or comments or whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll
Hey,
go from
our Ireland listeners, fucking comment. I imagine like when I saw that the Ireland, I like to imagine they've listened this far. They're like, he knows.
like I think of like for some reason Shrek.
Yeah.
Like it's a bunch of people like just sitting in a dim lit bar, and they're like Ireland lit, and then 2 guys are like, hey.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it's
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
so
We'll come up with something.
because I don't know. Bags, you got any ideas for overtime? Any series you want us to check out that we haven't?
Wait, wants us to watch that Blood
Yes.
Dolls movie.
A series?
Yeah, because like if we do we did a couple overtimes based off of sequels of movies we watched on the main podcast,
Yeah.
like Grave Encounters 2 or whatever, and that works out really
Here's-
well. But
Here's the thing with like the series and shit too. I think the reason Puppet was having such a hard time was because you look at it and it becomes like they have prequel movies and then they have movies that were just blend together of the previous movies or something. And then there's like 14 of them and reboots and everything, and I was like, how do we even cover this? So like
What about
other series are easier to do, but
like Scream 1 through 3? Oh, 4.
they got 4.
I
I was thinking about
Actually,
checking out Scream the other day.
actually think we should wait on those because
For
Scream,
Halloween?
Scream 5 just went into production, right?
Yeah, but God, who knows when that fucking thing will be out?
So that was just
Maybe
my
we'll save that one for October because they're Halloween themed movies.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe, yeah, when October comes up, I might do the thing that I talked about. And I'm like, all right, guys.
But that diet you've been putting off for
Yeah.
that's
Where I'm like, all right, this week, watch Halloween 1 and 2. And then Sunday, we'll record an episode for 1 and 2. And I'll put them out 2 a week for October for Halloween. But I don't know.
well, yeah, is that other than the main podcast?
No, I was saying that would be the podcast.
So Halloween 1 would be like the main podcast for Friday, and
Yeah,
then
and then Monday
second one
would
the
be for Halloween 2, and then Friday Halloween 3, and that's how we would go through it.
I mean, now that we all might get on the same shift, I mean, we could actually do a movie night to where we watch 4 things, or I don't know, guys. Think of a name for another series to where if we go see brand new movies in the theater.
Oh, I think we might have one.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
What's the new name?
Hit him
Freak
with
out.
it.
Oh, You know what? I'm surprisingly okay with that because I was waiting for some stupid "you're in
No.
the zone,"
No.
auto zone or whatever.
Auto zone. Yeah. But
So,
yeah, that Unhinged movie I think is about to come out. We might have to meet up and go see it because the movie
you
theater.
can't
Oh
walk.
shit.
How are you doing anything? You can't walk.
I got crutches.
Me and Bags will go and we'll call you from like, hey, we're going in now.
Yeah.
Pretend like you're here and don't talk for 2 hours. You know, like what? Like,
Anyway,
If
all
you
right.
if
Go
you
ahead.
could crutch yourself into a movie,
Yeah.
well, you should
Are
find
those-
out this week. But anyways,
are those seats legit enough, or would you have to put your foot up like a
His-
different way than
his foot has to be higher than his heart, and he's heartless.
Well, that's for.
Like fix these movies.
Well, that's
So-
for. That's for. It was 2 weeks that it had to be like that. So then Monday I'm going back to the doctor. So I'll probably still have to keep it
Word.
elevated, but I don't think it's gonna have to be as hardcore as it has been recently.
All right, so
Anyway.
let's wrap this
Word.
up. I gave it a 6.
A 6.
Bag
Bag
gave it a
5.
5.
Yeah.
You gave it a 4.
A measly 4 from.
So
mean
15
old
out of
Thomas.
30. That's a 50%.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys right now,
Mhm.
now that we're at the end, this is not a horror movie at all. Nothing about this is scary.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I like this movie. The next movie, it already happened. The next movie is Puppet Master 4, When Bad Puppets Go Good. And I was like, that's what they did in this movie. Like, they were killing Nazis and shit. Like,
well, they were still killing people, so that's still bad. But you agreed with the vengeance, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like when it said at the end, Puppet Master 4 coming, blah blah
Uh-huh.
blah. Like, did it say that at the end of the second one, Puppet Master 3 coming?
No, I don't think so.
I was like, what the fuck? When I saw- it was like
'Cause-
coming soon.
Yeah, because Puppet 2 ended with that, that cliffhanger where they're like, next stop, the children's hospital, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's.
So-
We didn't talk about the most important part of this movie,
Okay.
and that is at the very end. It had this Clint Eastwood ending where it just showed Six Gun pulling his guns out, going on a black screen.
Oh yeah, I did like that.
Oh, Thomas got interrupted. Man, he got the biggest, fattest head without those headphones on. Look at him. Horrible. So, but
What are you saying?
nothing. That's
Yeah,
it.
that said, look at him, look horrible. That's what I heard.
I just said without your headphones on, your face looks really mavericky. So,
Oh, anyway.
but yeah, you remember the end where it just had 6 guns on the black screen?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, yeah, I was like, this is the weirdest.
That was a weird ending. Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, hey, thanks for listening to us talk about this fucking movie and about how we're gonna film other podcasts and shit.
I mean, I think if they had input,
Yeah, yeah.
because we always have ideas. It's just
Yeah.
they want suggestions. Or,
Oh. But anyway, I think that might be a wrap for old Puppet Master. I still got another fucking 6 movies, so I'll probably watch them. But I don't know if we'll cover them because these things are hard to get through. But anyway, yeah. So that's the end of this one. Fucking what's out? This will come out Monday. Go check out Color Out of Space. Drop Friday. Great podcast. That one. And then this Friday coming up, we got Return of the Living Dead. So that'll be fun. So anyway, thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys next time.
stay classy, San Diego.
That was good. I like that.